Hi there! Let's do something different with our crochet hook today. I will show you how to make simple and beautiful crochet earrings but with wire and beads. So if that's something you're interested in, then please keep on watching. I have my 2mm hook, some pearl beads, I have my jewellery, pliers and cutters, and some craft wire, and then finally some jewellery findings, which I think I've shown you in another video where I was making crochet sunflower earrings. But today we're going to do something a bit different. So a while back I had decided to try crocheting with jewellery wire, which is the one you see here, and this is what I came up with. So they're still whips, of course. They're still whips, but I came up with making these crocheted earrings with jewellery wire. And I also fed beads into them. So I haven't finished. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what finding to use, whether to attach it to another hoop or a dangle or what, but you can see the general, the gist. I thought these were really nice, elegant earrings, which are really easy to make. They don't take much time at all, and you learn a new skill. And of course, my favorite color is green, as I have said before. So naturally, the green beads feature. And I'm starting off with 0.4mm gold plated wire, and I picked this up from Hobbycraft. You can find them in different thicknesses, but also I think they do a silver as well. But because I like gold, I've chosen this gold-plated version, and it's nickel-free. Can't remember how much they are, but I will find it and I'll put it on the screen. So I started off with these, and then I also had, show you. I also had these, oh, I found some more jewelry findings, brilliant. So I also had bought these beads from Hobbycraft, these glass beads, which are mixed colors, but I really like the colors. Like, as you can see here, the green is such a nice vibrant green with the gold. So today I'm going to show you making a pair from scratch, and then I'll probably also show you me finishing up these ones. The first thing I'm going to do is take out my wire. And find the end. So I think actually I probably cut it from the last one on this end, but I might see if I can use this end, just because this has kinks in it, even though I'm basically going to be putting kinks in the wire, but I want to start with the cleaner end, so I will get that here. So I'm starting with the end of the wire, and I'm going to decide, first of all, what color of beads I want to use. So I have these beads, which I got from, I think I got these from TK Maxx, kind of pearl colors, and as a contrast from these ones, so the kind of shiny glass beads, I think I might use the pearl colored ones instead for this this project. So it comes in a handy dandy little case. So what you have to do, when you're working with the wire, you actually have to thread all the beads onto the wire first before you start. It's not a project where you can add as you go, because you're working with wire, so naturally it's harder to attach the beads. But anyway, let's get the beads on. So let's get the beads on. I quite like the look of this one here. So I think what I'll do is, let me just get my end of the wire. Okay, so I have threaded quite a few onto here, and the light really isn't doing these pearly beads justice. Really isn't. They're absolutely beautiful with the gold. But yeah, so I've threaded all of these onto my wire. So you want to put way more beads than you think you'll need onto the wire to start, because once you get going, you can't add beads in between. I've put way more here anyway. I doubt I'll use that many beads on one earring. Never mind two, but I just like to be sure because I'm not sure what design exactly I'm going to do. But as you've seen from the previous ones I did, I tried to make them like delicate chains. And then after each chain, I put 2 beads in. So really I only needed 8 beads per earring on this one. For this one I'm doing, I'm not entirely sure how many beads or what design I'm doing yet. So that's why I've put a lot more. But anyway, let's go. So what I think it's good to do is, as in crochet with thread, is to leave yourself a nice long tail. And in this case, you want the tail so that you don't cut yourself. The end is very sharp, of course, it's wire. So I would say leave a long enough tail that it doesn't poke into your hand when you're making your chains. And so you get your crochet hook. And this is how I normally hold my thread for crochet, is I put it over my hand and I use my little finger to hold it for tension. But because I don't want to use too much wire while I'm getting the right tension, I'm just going to hold it over 2 fingers here. Hopefully you can see that. Insert your hook and twist. So I've inserted my hook and I've twisted it so that it forms a loop, as you normally would have a loop when you're crocheting. And then I'm going to create the first chain by going underneath the wire and pulling through. And it's quite hard to get through the first loop. There we go. Okay, so you're through. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I like the kind of organic shape that it creates. But so you've done your first loop, and what you want to do is get 2 beads, or however many you want. So I actually might do 3 beads for this one. I did 2 beads per chain in the last one. So I've got 3 beads here, and then I'm going to go underneath and pull. You want to pull that wire through your loop like that. And there you can see my 3 beads. And then we continue. So let's try the second one. Let's get 3 beads again. So let's do our second cluster. So we have our crochet hook is through our loop, and then we have it in the yarn under, or the wire under, and we've pulled 3 beads up from our threaded beads on our wire. So now we want to pull through a second chain through that loop, and ideally you'd keep the loops fairly loose, because then, as you can see here, it's quite hard to pull the wire through. But anyway, we have managed it. So let's make the loop a bit bigger. So there, that's what we're looking like so far. Okay, now we're on the third cluster. Maybe I'll do 4 clusters per earring, but we'll see. I'm going with the flow today. So we bring 3 more beads up and hold them. We have our hook in our wire, and I'm holding the wire under 2 fingers here to keep it steady. And then I go underneath the wire, after the beads, and then I'm pulling it through the loop, which is really hard to do because I kept it quite tight. And now we have our third chain with beads on. And then you can do this as long as you like for whatever shape you want. And we will pull up 3 beads. Okay, 3 beads there. Holding my wire under my index and middle finger just to keep it a bit tighter. Then go underneath as though you're doing a normal chain, and then pull that wire through that loop and pull that tight. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters, and I might do a 5th one. So again, 3, 3 beads. So you have 3 beads there. The wire is underneath my 2 fingers for stability. And I'm going to go under and pull that wire through. Okay. So now I have my 5 clusters of beads or chains on a bead. You can even see the chains there. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've put 3 beads on. I'm not sure what shape I'll do. I could join it with a slip stitch and it would be a really nice organic shaped earring, or I could keep going and make it a long earring. I'm not sure what would be nicer. Maybe because I have one that I'm working on that's a loop already, I could probably do something maybe a bit more organic with the second one. We'll see. So I've done 5 clusters here. I wonder, would it be nice to do, should I do even numbers of clusters? So now I have 6 clusters of beads on one earring, and I mean, it does look like a cute loop. If I was to do it like that, that would be really cute. That would be really cute actually, but I wonder it might look nice as a dangly as well. Maybe a twisted dangly, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's quite nice as a dangly earring. Okay, so what I have decided to do is join the 2 ends and make it this kind of almost like a V shape. I feel like it looks like a shell or something, or like coral, and then we'll use one of our earring findings and it will be a nice dangle. So yeah, I think I'll do that shape. So what you want to do now is make sure that you have enough wire to join. So what I'll suggest is cutting or leaving a long tail as long as you did for the previous. Leave a long tail as long as you did for the beginning. Where did this? Oh no. Okay. Right. So what I'll do now is cut. We'll get our wire cutters and I will cut and hopefully not lose all those beads. Don't take the crochet hook out yet. All right. So let's cut a nice long tail. I'll cut it up to there. Okay, I lost. I was just telling you not to do it, and I lost a few beads when I cut the wire because it it then just pinged a load of beads all over my kitchen floor, which is fine. Anyway, we have, I think we've got loads on the wire, so I'm not too worried. So yeah, so set this aside for later, because this is what we'll need for the second earring. Just making sure that the wire is not too tangled, but we'll sort that out later when we're working on earring number 2. Some beads I've lost here. So this is what we're left with from earring number 1. So we've got our cluster here, we've got our 2 long tails, and we've got the crochet hook is still in attached. And what I'm going to do is, as you would normally when you're ending, or sometimes recommended to do when you're ending a stitch, a row, or a stitch, you would just pull your yarn through to secure. So I'm going to pull the wire through here. So just as normal to secure, and then that is secured on both ends, so your beads shouldn't fall off. So see that there? Your beads should not fall off. And what might be nice to do is we could use the tails to join the 2 ends of our chain together, and then we can attach it to the earring that way. Now I have taken out one of our earring findings. I think this one is called the long ball wire. So there you go. So we'll use that. And what I'm going to do is feed one end through the end of the chain on one side and pull, and you see it joins it together. And then I'm going to take the other end and do the same, so push it through the opposite side just so it can pull the ends of the earring tight. And then you have this really pretty shape. Then you can twist the 2 ends together. So twist it like that. I twisted it a few times. Twist it a couple more. And that just secures your shape. So I really like that. That shape is so pretty. And now what I'm going to do is get the end of the earring finding and feed both ends of the crocheted wire chain through. So like that. And decide how much hang you want, I think, in your earring. So I think that should be nice. So the top of the twists, I think we might have done, say we did 5 or 6 twists, so the top of the twisted bit, I think that is a nice effect there as well. And then you fold over the wire through the loop, and then you can actually just bring it round and twist it around your original twisted bit. So I'll do that now. So then that kind of secures your loop in there, but you don't want to do it too tight because you don't want the earring to be stiff. You want the earring hook to be loose enough to hang and swing. Okay, so here we have the hanging bit. See? So it's still loose enough where I folded it over so that it can hang nicely. And I've twisted the 2 ends of that wire around the stem that we initially created about 5 times. And so we still have a bit of an end here. So I would suggest cutting this. So let's cut that end. My cutter's not working. There we go. And there we have our earring. So you'll also see we have some ends there, which you probably want to fold in because those will be very sharp. I have this other tool. I'm not sure if this is the right use for it, but I think in this case it might work. So I'm just going to fold it in using that tool and try to flatten it. And hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually just flattening along there. I might try to cut it down a bit shorter as well. Let's see if I can. I'm going to make sure you don't have sharp metal poking you in the ear. I've flattened it and trimmed it as much as I can, so you shouldn't even be able to see the end as much. And we still have a bit of hang on our earring. That's our first earring. It does scratch, because it's wire, of course, it does slightly scratch your hooks. I think you probably can't see it, but yeah, just be careful with your, if you've got your most prized hooks, I wouldn't use for this, but yeah, I think it's a really effective earring. So now I will go away and I will do earring number 2 off camera, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I have finished the earrings that I had initially started using this technique with, and then these are the new ones that I made today. So yep, there they are. We have these beautiful green, glassy green and gold earrings. I think they're so pretty and so elegant, and they are so easy to make. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make these earrings today, and I'd love to know in the comments which one is your favorite, whether it's the green or these pearly white ones. Personally, I love the green because that's my favorite color, but I also think these pearl ones would be really nice actually for a bride. I think they're a really nice bridal, simple bridal earring. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.